landing. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
За мен е истинско удоволствие да бъда тук днес, за да отпразнувам подписването на договора между две значими американски компании, Space Systems Loral и SpaceX.
It's a real pleasure for me to be here today to celebrate the signing of a contract between Bulsatcom and two major U.S. companies, Space Systems Loral and SpaceX. The construction of Bulgarsat-1 by Space Systems Loral and the Falcon 9 rocket launch by SpaceX will be major success stories for the U.S. and Bulgaria's bilateral commercial relationship.
My name is Bill Weller with Space Systems Loral. This is our first contract with a company in Eastern Europe and also in Bulgaria. So we are very pleased to be a partner with Bulsatcom and Bulgaria. As has been described, the satellite that we will build will support advanced television services and other communication services.
This is a very big win for U.S. industry. It's going to create jobs in the U.S. It's bringing a high-tech company here, and it's very, very good for U.S.-Bulgaria bilateral trade. In fact, this deal is the single largest export deal in history between these two countries.
We've worked well together with the Commercial Service on this deal. They've been working to bring Exim Bank to the table, and Exim Bank is providing financing for the launch of the satellite, and EBRD and the other banks are bringing the financing for the use of that satellite over the next 3 or 4 years.
We work with different parts of the Commerce Department, the Commercial Service, both the people at the embassies as well as the Trade Advocacy Center in Washington, D.C., part of the International Trade Administration. These people form a network of people that provide information on international opportunities and the environment in each country, and advocate for not just my company, but for all the U.S. companies that are in the international marketplace, and they work across many different industries, not just satellite communications.
Interesting thing about the word satellite in Bulgaria. What we used to apprehend whenever we hear the word satellite was, oh, Bulgaria is the strongest satellite of Russia. But now when Bulgarians think of the word satellite, we think that for the first time in our 1,300 and over years of history, we as a country have our own satellite. And interesting enough, it was built by an American company. It's a good example when businesses and governments can work together in a very transparent way and on the basis of the rule of law.
When we analyzed carefully everything, we came to the conclusion that we should use the Space Systems Loral, SpaceX, and U.S. Exim Bank as a combination, which was a solution that worked both from technological standpoint, from quality standpoint, and definitely from a financing standpoint altogether.
This deal is important for a lot of reasons in Southeast Europe. Bulgaria is a small country, but growing, and it's part of a larger region in Southeast Europe that has a lot of potential for U.S. companies. In fact, if you look at Southeast Europe, it's about the size of Texas. It's 60 million consumers, over 500 billion in GDP. So I think this deal, more than anything, exemplifies that this market is a growth market in the future. And more U.S. companies can look to this market for exports, which could lead to jobs back in the U.S. And here at the Commercial Service, we're working regionally throughout Europe to help U.S. companies find opportunities here. So, if anything, we're thrilled for Space Systems Loral and SpaceX, but we're also hoping that this deal will lead to follow-on interest in the region. So please come see us.